Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I'm Hasham Ali Khan. Now I'm going to start the new subject, Theory and Practice of GST. I got many requests from my regular viewers to start this subject. So I have decided now in this video I'm going to explain you about the introduction part of GST. What are the benefits of GST? What is debit note? What is credit note? And the mode of payment of GST. These are the things I'm going to explain you in this video. But before that, I expect my viewers that already you have watched the videos on income tax. In income tax, I have explained you the meaning of the term tax, the objectives of tax, and the different types of tax. So before starting this subject of GST, you have to recall the points regarding the meaning of the term tax, objective tax, then direct and indirect tax. So before starting the explanation of this introduction to GST, take a screenshot of the points which I have written on the board. Then I'll explain all the points in detail. Come on, first of all, the meaning of the term tax. A tax is a compulsory contribution made by the people of a country to the government. Nowadays, the government of all the countries in the world, they will spend a lot of money on infrastructure like roads, railway, dams, bridges, and apart from that, the government will give the facilities of education, health facilities, educational facilities. Then judiciary is there, defense is there, law and order is there. So all these requires a lot of funds. The government requires funds for all these developmental activities and administration activities. So one of the source of funds to the government is taxes. The taxes will be paid by the people to the government so that the government can spend the money on all these activities. The taxes can be divided into two categories, direct tax and indirect tax. A direct tax is the tax which, when imposed on a particular person, he or she must pay the tax. The tax liability cannot be shifted to any other person. So according to the present law, the basic exemption limit is given. If a person's income exceeds the basic exemption limit, he or she is liable to pay income tax on her or on his or her own income. That is income tax. But indirect taxes are the taxes on goods and services. The taxes on the goods and services are called indirect taxes. Earlier, so many indirect taxes are there like excise duty, sales tax, then customs duty, apart from that service tax. So many multiple taxes were there. But recently, the government has removed all the multiple taxes and made a single tax. That single tax is called GST. Goods and Services Tax. The full form of GST is Goods and Services Tax. It is the tax which is levied on the goods and services consumed by the people. Right. So the concept of GST is introduced by Indian government to eliminate the different types of taxes. Earlier, so many different types of taxes are there, like VAT was there, sales tax, customs duty, excise duty, etc. All these are removed and a single tax is applied. That is called GST. So currently GST is one of the single tax available for all types of goods and services. Now the difference between income tax, direct tax and indirect tax is, in case of direct tax, the income of the people will be seen. If his income is more than exemption limit, he or she is liable to pay tax. But in case of indirect taxes, it is seen the consumption of goods and services. If a person consumes the goods and services, he is liable to pay the tax. So it's a tax on goods, whether the goods are consumed by rich people or poor people. Example, petrol. A poor person, he is having a moped. He has taken petrol from the petrol pump. He has to pay the price of the petrol, which includes the tax. Whereas a rich person who is driving a car, he also needs the petrol. He is also paying the price of the petrol. He is paying the tax. That means indirect tax is levied on all the people irrespective of their incomes. Everybody who consumes the goods, they have to pay the indirect tax. And that indirect tax is GST. GST is primarily a tax on final consumption. Final consumption is imposed at every level of production and distribution chain with the relevant set-off in regard to the tax remitted at earlier stages. Now see here, remember this point is very, very important. GST is primarily a tax on final consumption of goods and services, and any tax already paid in the beginning will be deducted, will be set off. Simple example I'll give you. A sugar producing factory. A company is there which produces sugar. The raw material it purchased sugar cane. So in that case, while purchasing the sugar cane, they have already paid the tax. Then when sugar cane is converted into finished product sugar, and sugar is sold, so at the time of selling the sugar, again GST will be calculated. Example, while purchasing the sugar cane, the company has already paid GST of rupees 10,000 suppose. And when sugar is sold, at the time of selling of sugar, again 25,000 GST is applied. So 25,000 GST is paying at the time of selling the sugar, and 10,000 rupees GST was already paid at the time of purchasing the sugar cane. Now how much already paid the tax will be deducted? From 25,000 rupees GST paid at the time of sale and 10,000 rupees GST paid at the time of purchasing the sugar cane will be deducted. Now the net GST payable is 15,000. Because 25,000 rupees is the GST on selling the sugarcane and 10,000 GST already paid at the time of purchasing the sugarcane. So 25,000 minus 10,000, only 15,000 GST is payable. That is the meaning. Final consumption and is imposed at every level of production and distribution chain, and with relevant set-off. Set-off means already which is paid at the time of purchasing that goods, that will be deducted. Now GST is also defined as a tax on goods and services which are imposed at every point of sale or provision of service. So GST includes both tax on goods and tax on services. That is the brief introduction of the term GST. Now benefits of GST. There are many benefits of GST. One by one. In examination, you may get a question regarding explain the meaning of the term GST and what are the benefits of GST. Many benefits. The first benefit, it removes cascading effect of taxes. Cascading effect of taxes means double taxation. Already they have paid the tax at the time of purchasing, then again they have to pay the tax at the time of selling. So double taxation will be applied. To remove that cascading effect, to remove the double taxation, GST is very much helpful, because in GST the earlier taxes paid will be deducted. The earlier taxes paid will be deducted. Just now I have given the example. So by supply chain, by lowering the cost of carrying out business and develop competitiveness in the economy, the tax liability of the payer will decrease. Because cascading effect is there, that's why the tax liability will decrease. When tax liability decreases, they can fix the competitive price. The business can become more competitive in the country, in the economy. Second, it abolishes various types of taxes, rates, exemption. Before this GST comes, there were multiple taxes, multiple types of taxes, different rates of taxes, different exemptions are there. So many complicated laws were there. So all these complicated laws were removed and only single law is applied called GST. That is the benefit. Next one, it removes dual taxation of similar transaction. Dual transaction will be abolished, will be removed in GST. Next, it reduces production cost. Because earlier when more taxes were there, due to cascading effect, double taxation, the cost was more. When this double taxation was removed, when GST is applied, then cost of production will reduce. When cost of production will reduce, the business can be able to sell the goods at a lower price. Next one, it implements uniformity in taxes throughout the territory, irrespective of the place of manufacture or distribution. The uniform rules will be applied throughout the territory, throughout the country, irrespective where the goods are produced and where the goods are distributed, because same law is applied throughout the country. Next, it gives more clarity of taxes. When we have multiple taxes, it was very much complicated. That means it's difficult to understand by the people regarding the tax law. But when GST comes, it's more easier. The tax concepts are more clear, the provisions are more clear. The next one is it develops acceptance throughout the economy. Normally GST is more acceptable to the people rather than multiple taxes. The people will happily accepting the law, GST law. Then it increases and develops progress of the company. The company will develop because the tax liability is decreasing, the tax law has become more simple, the company can increase. The increased revenue to the government. It is seen. So when the government imposed this GST, the revenue of the government is also increasing multifold. Then it increases civic consciousness. The people are becoming more and more aware of the GST. The civic consciousness will increase. The people can understand the law, that they are paying how much of tax. They can ask the government regarding the application of money, public money. So this type of civic consciousness will increase by applying this GST. So I have explained you about the introduction to GST and benefits of GST. Now the next topic is regarding debit note and credit note under GST. So very frequently in examination you will be asked regarding what is debit note, what is credit note under the GST. So according to GST rules, a debit note is called a supplementary invoice. It is a supplementary invoice. What is this debit note? It is issued in case of purchase return. For example, ABC company is the seller and XYZ company is the buyer. Purchaser is XYZ company. After purchasing the goods, XYZ company returns back some goods to ABC company. This is called purchase return. When purchase returns are made, a note will be prepared by the buyer. Who is the buyer? XYZ is the buyer. So XYZ will make a debit note and send it to the seller. The seller is ABC company. Example, my company ABC, your company XYZ. I sold the goods to you on credit. Later on, you find that some of the goods are defective, not according to specification. You will return back the goods to me. So while returning back the goods, you make a note called a debit note. The debit note will be used whenever there is a purchase return. So you are returning back the goods to the supplier. I am the supplier. Then you will make a purchase return. So it is issued in case of purchase return, that is when the goods are returned by a purchaser to seller or supplier for the purpose of purchase return. Now debit note consists of small explanation. In this debit note, what is the value of the goods returned? How much was the discount? How much was the tax charged? Some explanation will be written in this debit note. However, any purchaser is going to return goods to the supplier, will prepare two debit notes. So whoever purchaser is returning the goods back to the supplier, he will make two debit note. One debit note will be sent to the supplier and the other debit note he will keep with himself. Now, as the account of the seller is going to be debited. Why it is called debit note now? Debit note because in the books of the purchaser, he will debit to the supplier. I am the supplier. My company ABC company. You are the buyer. Your company is XYZ company. You have returned the goods to me. So you have prepared a debit note explaining that my account is debited in your account, in your books. So in your books of account, the supplier's account is debited. The seller's account is debited. That's why the name is given debit note. That's it. Now credit note. Credit note is opposite of debit note. The debit note was prepared by the buyer. The credit note will be prepared by the seller. I am the seller. My company, ABC company, you have returned the goods to me, you have given a debit note. I will make a credit note specifying that this is the sales return. So for sales return, we make credit note. For purchase return, we make a debit note. Remember this point. So this credit note will be prepared whenever there is a sales return. And this credit note will be prepared by the seller or supplier. I am the seller, I am the supplier, I will make the credit note. And this credit note will explain the details of the goods returned by the buyer. What is the amount of the goods, what is the discount, what is the tax charged, etc. All these details are written in the credit note. Why it is called credit note? Because the supplier will credit the account of the buyer. The supplier, I am the supplier, I will credit your account. You are the buyer. Your account is credited in my books. So when I am crediting your account in my books, I will prepare a credit note. And you have prepared a debit note because you have debited my account in your books. So you are debiting my account, I am crediting your account. So I will prepare a credit note, you will make a debit note. That's all. Now last thing, payment mode of tax under GST. How the tax will be paid. So under GST, tax payment will be through two modes, online and offline. In online mode, we can payment through internet banking. So online payment of GST can be made through internet banking or credit card or debit card, which are to be registered prior. So before that, the person has to register his debit card number, credit card number to the GST authorities. Then he can pay the amount of GST through debit card or credit card through the registered number. Then National Electronic Fund Transfer, NEFT, and real-time gross settlement, RTGS. Through NEFT or RTGS also, the GST can be paid through online. So these are the two, and these are the three cases of making online payment of GST. That is through internet banking or debit or credit card or NEFT and RTGS. Or offline mode. Through offline also we can pay the GST if the cash up to 10,000 per challan per tax period. So if the amount is up to 10,000 rupees, it can be paid in cash on the counter. It can be paid on the counter through challan. And second, check or DD by depositing through OTC, over the counter. Depositing the check or depositing the draft on the counter regarding the payment of GST. This is the offline mode. So in this video, I have explained you about the introduction to GST, benefits of GST, debit note, credit note, and lastly payment mode of GST. Inshallah, we'll continue our discussion in the next video.